Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 22 of our Minnesota Twins rebuild here on Out of the Park Baseball 27. It's been about a week or so since the last episode. Had a bit of travel over the weekend and was not able to get back in time to do anything on Monday. So here we are. If you missed last episode, we went from being in the driver's seat to securing one of the best records in the American League to in the wild card. If you missed what happened essentially in our last uh, three series, we swept the Royals and then took two out of three from the Guardians. At this point, all we had to do was win one out of three against the Diamondbacks or have the Detroit Tigers lose one out of three against the A's. And as you have already surmised, the Tigers swept the A's and we lost every single game to the Diamondbacks. So this is your playoff tree. We are facing off against the Mariners for the right to play said Tigers. Three out of five teams in the AL Central representing only one AL East team, which I think if that happens in real life, like three different managers would be fired. Then again, Alex Cora, Rob Thompson are already out the door. Um, the Rangers secured the other bye. Um, both us and the Tigers finished 94 and 68, and then the Rangers finished 89-73. Remember, it's not the two best records, it's which of the three divisional winners has the two best records, which is why, the Rangers get the bye and we are stuck in the wild card. As a point of order, because I noticed this off stream, the Yankees lost the tiebreaker to the Guardians. That is why they are out. This was an insane wild card race. Like, to be clear, the Yankees Guardians tied. Guardians got the tiebreaker. The Orioles were a game behind them. In the NL, Padres get in. Cubs, Giants were both a game behind them. Insane, insane wild card race down the stretch. So, obviously, very disappointing that we have found ourselves in the wild card, especially against the Mariners, who, let me tell you, they're very mean. Here is our current plan. We are completely healthy as Connor Prelip, who came back from his torn UCL and promptly tore his meniscus. So, yeah, he was able to have two appearances and a rehab assignment before that took him out. And then Ryan Burr, as we already knew, is missing the whole year with a torn UCL. So that, you know, is what it is. I'm actually going to request I'll wait until he's fully healthy to get the scouting report. Here's my plan. So, in terms of players eligible for the roster, really the only decision I had to make was whether I wanted Alan Roden there with me. Hey, for those who are also unaware, there was a recent update that Out of the Park Baseball had, and one of the things in the change log was they increased the space here on this screen so that now you can see six recent games. However, you do have to scroll down to see the most recent season. I would have preferred, they just invert this so that 2027 is at the top, 2025 is at the bottom in this case, but so be it. We are not taking Alan Roden with us for two reasons. One, he can't really play defense. Obviously, we played him at third because of Royce Lewis's injury. That didn't go well. He doesn't have, he's above average defensively in the outfield, but he's still not good. His range is only at 55. And I don't think there's much value in keeping him as a off the bench pinch hit, got to get a run. So Alan Roden will not be there. Instead, we are taking the full 8-man bullpen and 5 starters. I'm not moving. I mean, Mick Abel and Zebby aren't going in the first game, and then Zebby is not going in the second anyway. So you could make an argument that I should just drop Zebby Matthews from the playoff roster and get Roden in there. However, I want to have these two in case, knock on wood, Fromber, Joe Ryan, or Taj Bradley get hit with an injury, and I need to throw a starter out there for like 2 innings. So that's my thinking there. In terms of the 3 starters for the series against the Mariners, we're going Fromber for game 1, Joe Ryan game 2, Taj Bradley game 3. Pretty much picks itself. Fromber had a lot of injury issues down the stretch, but he is our ace. The man is getting paid $36.5 million. And, we'd like to let him roll on up. Joe Ryan has been our best pitcher this season, I would say, especially in terms of consistency. So he's getting game 2. Hopefully, we can get 6 innings out of both him and Fromber to help our bullpen a bit. Taj Bradley is getting game 3. He has been a little more hot and cold as of late. Didn't have a great performance in terms of pitch count against either the Royals or the Reds, but overall can still do really well. I think my plan with Taj Bradley in game 3, assuming it gets there, is ask him to get 5 innings and then slam David Festa right at them. It is unfortunate that David Festa had an ERA of 0 in the whole month of September going into this last Diamondbacks game where he got eviscerated for 3 runs. So that's pitching. Lineup is fundamentally simple. It's the crew that's got us here. I do have Trey Morgan as our DH still. I think he did really, really well. Looking at his monthly splits in September, he had an OPS of 953 and a batting average of 385. So I'm just riding the hot hand there, seeing how he plays. So without further ado, let us begin game 1 of the series. My plan for this video is very simple. We play through the playoffs, no matter how long or short that will be. And then if we get knocked out, say in the wild card series, the divisional series, probably do a little bit of off-season prep before then. Nothing too crazy from the Mariners. Looks like they're having Miguel Andujar play through his hamstring injury, which, fair enough. But yeah, we have Fromber. They have Logan Gilbert. Let's rock and roll. Fromber, get us going against Victor Robles. Well, I must admit, walking a man with a 70 stealing, not really where I wanted to be in my life. And getting Josh Naylor line out is a solid plan. That's going to get down. Yep. All right. Robles gets all the way to third. Runners at the corners for Cal Rowley. And he pops it up. That is beautiful. That is, as we say, ideal. Here's Brendan Donovan. Hits it to third. The throw in time. So the Mariners threaten. They do not score. Walker Jenkins has been our leadoff man this year. He has either been exquisite or the worst hitter on our team. Kalen Culpepper notwithstanding. So as of late, he's been okay. But he's still, I mean, defensively, he's one of the best left fielders in the game. So that's going to get him ABs in and of itself. Luke Keeschel, a lovely single. Matt Wallner, a less than lovely ground out. But we do have a runner in scoring position for Byron Buxton. Swing and a miss. And if you haven't been following this season, Byron Buxton, his injury proneness has officially dropped to wrecked, as he had a truly insane slew of injuries in May and June, the longest being an oblique strain that cost him a month. Oh, and the aforementioned injured Miguel Andahar with the RBI double. I clicked the wrong button there. That's on me. And the Mariners have their run. See if we can match here. Adley Rutschman up to the plate. Contract extension in hand. Was that an error? No. It looked like Gilbert did not catch this ball. Like the animation made it look like it just dropped out of his glove, but evidently not. The Chapa from Trey Morgan, and he beats it out. If Trey Morgan had been hitting like he's been hitting the past month for the whole season, we would have 100 wins. It's fundamentally that simple. As Royce Lewis laser down the third base line. Trey Morgan's going home, and there's no throw. Where is your sense of drama, Cole Young? It's the playoffs. Throw it home. Wild pitch moves Royce to third. All right, sack fly. We take the lead. Swing and a miss from Meidroth. Here's Culpepper. Well, not great. He pops it up. I think next year, assuming our middle infield is Culpepper at short and Meidroth at second, I need to stagger them in the order somehow, because that's been a little bit of an 8-9 death punch at times this season. All right, Luke Keeschel and Matt Wallner on the corners. Buxton, swing and a miss, folks. Adley Rutschman follows suit. All right, Fromberg, can you give me the fourth? Yes, he can. His pitch count is getting up there a little bit. He's at 63 pitches, though 15 pitches per inning is seen as efficient. I don't know if that's, necessarily plays out, especially this season. But who knows, as Royce Lewis hits it up into the left, but that'll be caught. All right, Meidroth. Hits it up to center, but that's going to be caught. All right, we go to the fifth. I think Fromberg can probably get me 2 more innings, assuming nothing goes crazy. There we go. He gets me the fifth there. And now Culpepper and Jenkins are aboard. Wild pitch moves him over. Folks, we have a chance for greatness here. Luke Keeschel, 2 hits already. Walked him. Bases loaded. Matt Wallner, our best hitter this season. Swing and a miss. Buxton walked him. We take the lead on a walk. Here's Adley Rutschman as the Mariners go to the bullpen in the fifth. That's suboptimal in game 1. And Rutschman hits into the fielder's choice. Not good. Let's see if Trey can get them all around. Alternatively, they'll walk him too. All right, Royce Lewis. Full count again. Jeez. Grounder to first. Relay is in time. All right, we get 2 runs there. Base was loaded, 1 out, 2 runs. I think both side would kind of shake hands at that. Trouble in the 6th for Fromber. And my bullpen is not fully healthy because I had to use a decent amount of guys in the Diamondback series. So Mason Montgomery, you're up first by default. There we go. Donovan goes down looking. All right, I think I'll let him face Emerson, then we'll see. And he hit him. Do I want him to face Newt Bar? You know what? He's got this. Full count. Walked him. All right, that's it for Fromber. We're going Mason Montgomery to get Miguel Andujar. Line drive into left. That'll score 2. And that goes on Fromber's card. Man. All right, tie ball game. Stevenson grounds out to third to end the suffering, but man. Yeah, I think I left Fromber in for one AB too many. Idroth goes down. If this were later in the game, I might pinch hit for Culpepper here, but alas. All right, Walker Jenkins. Can he get aboard? Hits it up to right, but that'll be caught. All right. Mason's needed, 9 pitches to get that one out. So if his pitch count gets up here, we get any hit Robles. Mason, I need you to get it under control. Grounder to second for 1, first for 2. That'll do. Julio Rodriguez gets it down in center. All right. So we're going to get Justin Tapa warming up. I'll let Mason face Cal Rowley. And he gets him swinging a miss. Good work there. I'll sit Justin Tapa down once he is ready to go. The Mariners are using a lot of relievers this game. Hope we can get them, because the trap the AI falls into sometimes is they'll use the higher rated relievers over and over and over again and just leave their lesser guys on the bench. Or they'll just take like a 6-man bullpen as Buxton hits it to center and gone. 2-run home run, 400 feet even, and we have the lead. The bottom of the 7th. As Rushman grounds out. And Trey Morgan follows suit. All right. So we're going to the 8th. Justin Tapa went from ready to cold in 2 ABs. Make that make sense. All right. Tapa, you get the 8th. And it's clean. We're going to get Watanabe and Funderburk for the 9th, depending on if it's still a save situation. And the Mariners use another reliever. Tigers legend Will Vest. There we go. Mydroth gets it down. Now I'm faced with the question of, do I pinch hit for Culpepper here? I think I will. We're going to give Gabriel Gonzalez the bat. Get a pinch hit opportunity. Hits it into left, down on the line. Very good, sir. I am not going to run here because I have 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out. Jenkins hits it to first. They go home. And they got Mydroth. All right. Who's Luke Keeschel at the corners? And he grounds out. Oh, no, the error. I spoke too soon. We get a run in. That's rough. All right, Matt Wallner grounds out. So we get one run there. Might be the difference. Defensively, very simple. Mydroth is going to go to short. Tyler Freeman will take the 9th spot and go to second. Funderburk sits down. Watanabe. Go in for the save. Michael Arroyo up first. And yeah, Watanabe is first in the league in saves, and he gets Arroyo there. Victor Robles hits it to second. Freeman got him. All right, last out for the Mariners is Josh Naylor. Hits it up. Caught by Freeman, and we take game one 6-3. Well done, Buxton, with the deciding home run. Very happy with that. The Mariners had to use 4 relievers. We only had to use 3. That could matter. We'll see. Did Springer get hurt? No, they just pulled him after 1 batter. Fair enough. Happy with that. I think Fromber's line looks a little ugly because Montgomery couldn't shut the door on him, but that is what it is. So we will sim to game 2, and there's no breaks in this 3rd game series. It is bang, bang, bang. Ryan Burr, now that he's officially off the IL, actually waving him there, I think will still yell at me if I'll just send him on a fake rehab assignment to the minors because AAA's done anyway, but it means I don't have to worry about going crazy. All right, game 2. We're rolling out Joe Ryan. They're rolling out George Kirby. I think starter-wise, not really going to change anything. Don't really have a reason to at this point. So we're just rolling out the same group. Anything the first? Nope. All right, Walker. Hit the ball forward. Nope. And it's like I've said all season. If Walker Jenkins can hit, then our outfield is set for at least all of next season, maybe even another, depending on Buxton's if he retires or not. If Walker Jenkins struggles, then we could find ourselves with no good defensive outfielders if Buxton retires and Jenkins can never hit. What? Joe Ryan hurt his thumb. So remember about 15 minutes of real time ago when I said the reason I have a spare starting pitcher in my playoff roster is in case one of the 3 get hurt. And it has happened. So Joe Ryan has a sore thumb, which will only knock him out a day, but that's that. So we're going Mick Abel. And the good news is, yeah, both my long relievers are near ready. So if I can get 2 or 3 innings out of Mick Abel here, I think we're doing okay. Cal Raleigh is on second for Cole Young. Hits it down in front, and out is the shortstop. Well, that's grim. Our best pitcher this season only gave me 1 inning. Neat. But a clean 3rd from Mick Abel. And now Mydroth is on second for Walker. Hits it to second. They get him. Advances the runner, but now we're only down to 2 outs. Yeah, Luke grounds out. Nothing doing there. All right, I'm going to see if Mick Abel can get me this inning. I am going to warm up David Festa because it's Naylor, Rodriguez, and Rowley coming. All right, he gets Josh Naylor. Look at Mick Abel. Maybe long relief is the solution for him. There we go. He gets Julio Rodriguez. Can he get Cal Raleigh? Yes, he can. All right, I think that's all I want from Mick Abel. I think we'll turn it over to Festa for the 5th. Wallner, swing and a miss. I don't want to look at what his strikeout count is. It's just going to depress me. Oh, look, why not? Did he match last season? He did not. Only quote unquote 190. Oh boy. And we even improved his plate discipline in the development lab. Guess what that bought me is 10 less strikeouts. As Rushman gets a line drive. Did he walk more? No, he walked less. Fair enough. All right. Trey Morgan, I believe in you. Nope, swing and a miss. All right, so that is going to be it from Mick Abel. I know he's still in the green, but this is why we have two long relievers. So Festa will get the 5th, maybe the 6th also. 5th is clean. Thank you, sir. Royce Lewis is on second. Come on, Walker. Hits it up to center. Caught at the track. All right, let's see if Festa can get me the 6th. And he does. Perfect. Because now I have options. I think Cole Sands is going to get ready for the 7th. And that's why I always bring one more starting pitcher than I need in the playoffs. As Matt Wallner hits a shot to right field. Thank you. 462 feet. Wow. That'll play. But yeah, that's always why I keep one extra starter. It's similarly how, worst case scenario, I just don't use him. Or if we're ever in a playoff game where I'm up by like 5 or 6 or we're down by 5 or 6, I can just throw Mick Abel in there for a couple innings to save my bullpen. Like there is logic. But it's important if you are planning on doing that, leave them as a starter. Do not change them to a reliever because their stamina will get worse. All right, we're going to go Cole Sands for the 7th. And he's hurt. Ooh, that's 5 days. That's bad. That is very bad. All right, in that case, he got me 2 outs, which is good. We're going to go Funderburk to see if he can get Cal Raleigh. We're going to bring in the lefty. Pops it up. Very good, very good, very good. All right, anything for us in the 7th? Royce Lewis is on second. Walker Jenkins struck out looking. It is not his series. And to be fair, last playoff, Walker Jenkins struggled so much that I had Cody Clemens in left field. So that is that. All right, we're going to get Keckering warming up. My plan is for Funderburk and Keckering to get me 6 outs. I don't know, if it's going to be 3-3 or 4-2 or what, but that's my current plan. Funderburk gets 2 Ks. Can he get 3? Cole Young struck out the side. Look at Cody Funderburk. From missing our opening day roster to clutching it in the playoffs. Yep, see, this is what I talked about earlier. The AI will play itself into the trap where it will play its really good relievers back to back to back and ignore the rest. Yeah, because like Andres Munoz is at 100, Luis Castillo's at 100, Bizardo's at 100, Sandy Alcantara's at 100. And instead of doing that, they throw Will Vest out there, who pitched 17 pitches yesterday. All right, wild pitch moves Luke over to third. Come on, Matt. Hits it up into right. That's going to be caught. Keishel makes it home. No slide. He's a very brave man, it must be said. Buxton gets it down. Very good, sir. I think I'm going to have him try to steal with Rushman and then Trey Morgan up. Dang, he got him. Buxton, how do you get thrown out? What's Cal Rowley's percentage? 25%, which I would consider average. It's killing me. As Adley Rushman flies out to left to end that. Okay. Quick subs here. We're going to go Emmanuel Rodriguez is going to come in for Matt Wellner and take right field. Keckering is going to come in to pitch to face Andujar, Nootbaar, and Victor Robles. And our bullpen has been pretty taxed today, so I would really appreciate it if Keckering can get me this save. He gets Andujar, Nootbaar, hits it to second. He's out. All right, we are 1 out away from winning the wild card. Victor Robles, what do you got? Hits it up to right. Emmanuel is there, and it is caught. We take the series. Good Lord, what happened to the Mariners? They had 1 hit and 1 walk that whole game, and it was a bullpen day because Joe Ryan got popped and hurt his thumb in the 2nd inning. Look at this, folks. My God. Mick Abel coming in clutch. I just got vindicated so much by keeping him for my decision to keep him in the playoff roster. 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 4 Ks. Brilliant. All right. And since we 1 and 2, we get the extra bye game, or day off, which should really help Cole Sands. Let me advance the day. Dang. Yeah, Red Sox 1 and 2 also. Well, that kind of hurts that plan. All right, we need to decide. Let me advance 1 day. Personal message. Ah, yes, players retiring. Oh, Andrew Cassetti retired. That's a shame. He was my ace high A catcher. Noah Cardenas retiring is also annoying. Losing a lot of catchers here. All right, so now we need to make a decision. So Cole Sands is back tightness for 3 days. So he'll miss game 1 and 2, but he'll be back for 3. I think it's still worth it to keep him on the roster. I also don't have like another reliever that's eligible that I really want to con on. Like Travis Adams is only on this list because he's been on the 40 man the whole year. So that's just kind of where we're at. Starting pitching wise, when will Fromber needs 2 anyway. So it's gonna have to be Taj Bradley and Zebby Matthews. Game 2 might be rough. Oh God, it's Tarek Skubal, who in real life has to have elbow surgery to remove loose bodies in his elbow. And as a Tigers fan, let me tell you, literally boarded my flight back home on Monday afternoon. Got that notification and spent like 2 hours just in pain. So that happened. All right. It is a lefty. So I may make a couple changes to the old lineup. Hi Tigers, how you doing? Huh? Oh, right. That was a little carryover from last stream. Yeah, I need to decide on the DH against lefties. I think Gabriel Gonzalez has been good. And I would want him to DH because his rating and right is bad, and he has a negative arm. Does Wallner have a negative arm? No, he has a positive, even though his zone rating is tragic. All right, yeah. So we're gonna go Gabriel Gonzalez, the DH. He's gonna bat seventh. We're gonna move Royce Lewis up. I'm a little worried about Walker Jenkins. Should I just bench Walker Jenkins against lefties? But I really have no other alternative. No, he is the highest on base. Yeah, I think I'll roll with that. All right, Tarek Skubal against Taj Bradley. Yes, the classic matchup. Once again, I'm annoyed that Trevor Larnach, who we traded to the Tigers in the offseason, is not starting for them because he really should be. But alas, here we stand. Let's get this party started. Game one of the ALDS, Tigers, Twins. Walker Jenkins, if you get a hit off of Tarek Skubal, I will personally give you like a 1-year contract extension. Nope. Flew out to Max Clark. That did kind of save me from having to give out a contract extension to a guy who's just now ARB eligible. Keishel grounds out. And yes, Kerry Carpenter is at first base because the AI loves putting bad defensive outfielders at first base. And it is the bane of my existence. Nothing for him in the first or us. Oh, Riley Green solo home run. Fair play. And Colt Keith is aboard. And this is the downside of having Taj be the starter is on some occasions he could get me 6-7 innings and look great. But other times he gets me 4 innings on 84 pitches and it's grim. And with an injured reliever already, that could get bad. But a lovely double play there. Very nice. Gabriel Gonzalez DHing today against the lefty. Hits it up into right, but that'll be caught by Dallas Garcia. Tyler Freeman making his offensive debut in the playoffs since we brought him in as a defensive sub. I like Tyler Freeman, but my God, he forgot how to hit the baseball once he left Coors Field. Who knew? Who knew as Culpepper gets it down in left? Freeman only takes one base because he is a coward. Swing and a miss from Jenkins. I think I'm going to bench Walker Jenkins for game 2. Awkward line out there. I think I'm going to just give Gabriel or maybe Emmanuel Rodriguez the left field job. Oh, Kevin McGonigal will RBI double. Torque hits it up to center. That's off the wall. Like the idea that they have Torque DHing and Carpenter at first is actually laughable. Like, why? Riley Green hits it into left. Jenkins is there. All right. Tigers are up to an early lead. How many pitches is Taj Bradley on? 50 through 3. Not great, but Buxton and Rushman are aboard. Royce Lewis hits it at McGonigal, who picks up the error. That's tough. Also, again, having McGonigal at second and Colt Keith at third similarly makes no sense. Gabriel strikes out. Tyler Freeman, be the hero. No dice. Flew out to center. All right, we go to the 4th. Gets Colt Keith swinging, but he needed a full count to do it. Oh, boy. Carpenter. That would be a triple if Carpenter had speed. So it's just a double for him. See if we can get Dylan Dingler. There we go. Swing and a miss. But again, it took a full count. And he gets Garcia. Remember when I made my comment about it takes him 80 pitches to get through 4 innings? It took him 72 today. Just for those keeping track. Culpepper pops it up foul. All right, Walker, this very well could be your last AB for a few games. Struck out looking dude. He just disappears in the playoffs. He really does. It's why I kind of think, and I have zero verified information about this. It's why I kind of think there's an under the hood stat. Maybe it's relating to personality or something. But for those who play Football Manager, one of the traits a player can have is surrounding big matches. Like if a player likes big matches or if they don't like them. If they don't like them, that's usually a pretty big red flag because they'll underperform in, big, matches during the season or, semifinal finals. I do wonder if Out of the Park Baseball has some version of that stat under the hood. I think Walker Jenkins does not like the big matches. Good inning there from Taj Bradley, but that'll definitely be it for him. As Royce Lewis strikes out with Rutschman on second. Our left on base numbers for this game, actually hideous. You know what? No, I'll let him face Torque. And he hit him. That's what I get. All right, we're just going to go to Cantorino. I don't know what's looked worse in this game so far, our pitching or our offense. Colt Keith hits it deep to left. That's off the invisible wall. Walker, dude, what was that reaction? And that is an RBI triple. So the run goes in on Taj Bradley's box, or line, I should say. Carpenter goes down. That's huge. Dylan Dingler walked. Adolis Garcia lines out to Royce. Cool. All right. They get one run. But Tarek Skubal's at 108 pitches, and they're bringing him back out with a 4-run lead. That just seems silly. As Gabriel Gonzalez gets it down, and they promptly pull Tarek Skubal. And it's a righty, so we will pinch hit for Tyler Freeman. Chase Mydroff will get the bat. That worked out perfectly. Gabriel gets the hit against the lefty. I can bring in a righty to face their righty reliever. Brilliant. 2 men on. Culpepper hits it into right. That's going to be caught. Not enough to advance Gabriel. Walker Jenkins, I'm giving him the at-bat. Do I regret it? He gets the infield single. Yes, that is his first hit of the playoffs. Don't worry about it. And Luke Keeschel hits it down the third base line. That should score at least 2. Okay, this is my other gripe with this game. The ball is very shallow. He picked that up at the wall. Literally nothing could get deeper than that, and the game says it's very shallow. Huh? Matt Wallner, 2 men on. Hits it into right. That's going to get down. Keeschel will score easily, as will Jenkins, and we have a tie ball game. The Tigers bullpen has imploded. As Buxton gets it down, Wallner to third. Here's Rutschman. The infield is in as if I'm going to bunt. Come on, Royce. And nothing doing. All right. Well, we get 4 runs. That'll do. Defensively, Mydroth is going to second. And then I'm going to get... What's Tapa at? 95? Yeah, that'll be the move. We're going to get Tapa going. Ideally, Cantorino can get me Javi and Max Clark. And I can bring in Tapa to face McGonigal. That's plan A. And you know what they say, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. As Javi gets it down, that was just whiplash, that camera flip. He got the line out. That'll be it, though. I'm sticking with that version of the plan. We're going Justin Tapa now to get McGonigal. Oh, boy. They went for the pickoff at first. The throw was terrible. And now Javi's on second. McGonigal grounds out, but that could have been a double play if Javi is still on first. And now a wild pitch scores him. That throwing error from Rushman may have just cost us the game. Or grounds out. Yeah. All right. They went lefty with Holton, so Gabriel Gonzalez is staying in. Hits it into right. That'll be caught. I'm leaving Mydroth in because I don't have any other subs for the infield. And he gets it down. It's like, how dare you pinch hit for me? Or rather, bench him against lefties, I suppose. Culpepper grounds out to third. I'm going to pinch hit here. We're going to give Emmanuel Rodriguez the bat, and we're going to bank on it, a 2-run homer here. Hits it up to left, but not nearly far enough. All right. And then Emmanuel will just take over in left field pretty simply. Justin Tapa for the 8th. And 2 men are aboard. Nice. We're going to get Funderburk in the game to face Dylan Dingler. And he walked him. Bases are loaded. Adolis Garcia hits the line drive back into center. The throw is good, and it's on time to get Kerry Carpenter. So they get 1 run, not 2. And Javi Baez is a walk. All right, Max Clark. Bases loaded, 2 outs, swing and a miss. All right, we're down by 2. We got Luke Keeschel, Matt Wallner, and Byron Buxton up. And if you had to give me 3 of my hitters to be up in the 9th, it would be those 3. Luke Keeschel gets us started, flying out into left. Let's see if Wallner can get a home run here to cut the lead in half. He does hit it into right. And it's over the head. Very good, very good, very good. All right, Wallner's on second. Byron Buxton at the plate. Swing and a miss. Adley Rushman is our last out. And he strikes out looking. We drop game 1 of the ALDS. Obviously, the error sucks. Like Justin Tapa, or no, excuse me, Cantorino should have an unearned run here because that Adley Rushman error is the only reason Javi scored. The only reason. But yeah, that wasn't great. And yeah, the left on base number was hideous. 23 left on base, 12 Ks as a team. Not very good. All right. Well, we go to game 2, and game 2 was the one I was really worried about. So this could be bad. Slight bit of panic. All right, new scouting report on Ryan Burr. Oh boy. Yeah, his stamina dropped a decent bit. Nothing too crazy, but I still don't think we're going to bring him back for another year. Unfortunately, I think we'll just let him be a free agent. What I will do though is I'll keep him in waivers in case another team wants to claim him. It's a shame about his injury. All right. Zebby Matthews on the mound. I'm going to give Walker Jenkins the day off. We're going Emmanuel Rodriguez to take left and lead off against Zach Olson. Zach Olson. Wow. Against Reese Olson. There we go. Emmanuel gets it down. Very good, very good, very good. I'm not going to run on Dylan Dingler. I know better. Oh, and Reese Olson has to be taken out of the game in the second AB. Folks, it's a bullpen day for the Tigers in game 2 of the ALDS. We need to take advantage and win. We have to win. We cannot lose a bullpen against a bullpen game. I will dissolve the franchise. All right, Zebby on the mound for us, and Torque has a solo home run. Fair play. Tigers take the lead. And now Colt Keith is on second for Dylan Dingler. Hits it up into right. That'll be caught. Upton gets the ball, nothing doing, and a solo shot from Luke Keeschel. We're on the board. Matt Wallner back to back. Hits it deep into right, off the invisible wall. Nice double for him. Come on, Buxton. Bring him home. I believe in you. And he gets it past Colt Keith. On his way home is Matt Wallner, and the lead is ours. Rushman gets it down. That's good. He'd been struggling in the playoffs so far. Good to get him going. Trey Morgan walked him. Bases are loaded. Royce Lewis lines out to first. Very depressing. All right. Come on, Zebby. Clean third from Zebby. Mydroth is on second for Erod, and he hits it back into center. Mydroth will hold up at third because Max Clark has a 70 arm. Whether he has that in real life, we can debate, but in game it's 70. Luke Keeschel scores him either way, 3-1, and the offense is rolling. Matt Wallner struck out. You're killing me, Matt. Buxton hits it up into left. That'll be caught. All right, if I can get 2 more innings from Zebby, I'm a happy man. And Colt Keith is on second for Kerry Carpenter. Hits it up into right. Caught by Wallner. Dylan Dingler. Grounds it to Royce Lewis. Got him. Easy peasy. Rushman hits it into right. Caught. Very depressingly. And Trey Morgan grounds out, and that leaves Royce Lewis, who also grounds out. All right, Zebby. I need the 5th inning, buddy. Good man. He's at 81 pitches, which is close to his limit, but I'm going to bring him back out there in the bottom of the 6th. We're going to get, I think, David Festa warming up. Ideally, I don't need to use an injured Cole Sands. I think that is my ideal. as McGonagall grounds out to Mydroth. I'll let him face Torque to get revenge. And he also grounds out to Mydroth. Zebby, you want to make it 3 for 3? Riley Green hits it into left. That is down. All right, that'll be it for Zebby. We're going to bring on Festa to face Colt Keith. Wild pitch moves Riley second. We've had like 4 wild pitches so far. Seems like a high variance, but I'm not going to question it. Maybe I should. Festa gets Colt Keith swinging. Very good outing from Zebby Matthews. Very happy with that. Adley Rushman with an RBI double. Michael Waka as Trey Morgan gets it down in center. We're just having a good time now, folks. We're just having a good time. Runners at the corners. I'm gonna have Miguel Amaya pinch run at third. He's not that much better than Rushman, but I'm gonna bring him in as a defensive sub anyway. And Royce Lewis struck out. It matters not. All right, Miguel Amaya coming in to catch. Festa, the 7th is yours. When I said that, the implication was he would get me an out. All right, he gets Casey to line out. That helps. Javi hits it to short. They get him at first. All right. Max Clark, swing and a miss. Festa gets out of the jam that he himself created. When you put it like that. And then I'm going to get Watanabe warming up to see if Festa can give me some outs. All right, McGonagall grounds out. Here's Torque. It's at the third. Royce Lewis gets him. We're looking good. Let's be ambitious. Can Festa get Riley Green? It's it back up to the mound. No throw. All right, that'll be it. That'll be it for Festa. We're going to bring in our closer, Watanabe, for a 4-out save. And he gets Colt Keith to hit in the fielder's choice. Very nice. We go to the 9th. Insurance runs would be lovely. And Keishel pops up. Wallner grounds out. Not his best game. He went 1 for 5. Buxton flies out. All right. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Kerry Carpenter, Dylan Dingler, Owen Casey. What stands between us and tying up the ALDS? Kerry grounds out. Trevor Larnick, our old friend, a pinch hit. Swing and a miss. Thank you, Trevor. The check will be in the mail. Casey hits it into left. And Erod makes the catch. We tie up the series 1-1. To be fair, once it turned into a bullpen day, we had to win that. And I only needed to use 2 relievers, so that'll do. Really, really happy with that. And now we get the day off, which should bring almost everyone in the bullpen back to full, I think. And then Cole Sands is also no longer injured, which helps. Very good. We didn't need to use him. So yeah, both Fromber and Joe Ryan are good to go for this game. I'm going Fromber just to keep the order simple. And then hopefully we can win game 3 and 4. Get a bajillion days off. How's the other series going? Whoops. It is 1-1 also. So if this goes to 5 and we're done in 4, we get an extra off day, which might get us Fromber back. in full health for game one in the ALCS, which would be clutch. Okay. How did Erod do last game? 2 hits, 1K. Yeah, I think I'll bring him back out there to hit against the lefty. I'm going to make one other change. Culpepper's going to the bench. Mydroth to short. Tyler Freeman is going to take over at second. I think, unfortunately, Culpepper just doesn't have the bat. But hey, if he's a defensive first shortstop, not the end of the world. What might be the end of the world is Jahmai Jones getting the start here because we're rolling out Fromber. He is on second for Riley Green, who promptly strikes out. Thank you, Riley. And Torque enjoys a nice wild pitch, which moves Jahmai to third. Torque hits it deep into right. Oh, off the wall. That'd have been a home run if we didn't have that insanely high wall, but Tigers take the lead. Colt Keith hits it back up the middle. Mydroth is there for the out. All right, Tigers draw first blood. Can we match? Erod, get us started. No. He grounds out. Nothing doing from the rest of the guys. But Buxton is on second. Trey Morgan strikes out looking. Not been a good playoff for him thus far. Royce Lewis lines out to McGonigal. Very calm game so far through 2.5 innings as Mydroth strikes out. Tyler Freeman getting the start today. The chopper to first beats it out. Infield single. And Erod walks. All right, 2 men on. Luke Keeschel, let's go. Hits it back up the middle. Grounds out. But now I have 2 runners in scoring position for the best hitter on our team. And he struck out looking. Man, the do or die of Matt Wallner is truly a sight to behold. And now Torque is on second for Colt Keith. All right, he gets him to ground out. I don't love that trade because now a sac fly and they get their second run. Dingler hits it to short with the all-in shift. Torque doesn't move. And Carpenter strikes out. Well done, Fromber. Very good, sir. Buxton is on second for Royce Lewis, who swings at the 3-1 pitch and fouls out to Garcia. All right, Fromber. And Matt Vierling pinch hitting. And second, Garcia flies out. Pinch hitting for Javi. Oh, no. Javi is hurt with patellar tendonitis. Grim. Poor Javi. The playoffs get immediately worse if Javi Baez is not in. Subjectively a true statement as Jahmai Jones strikes out swinging. Is that your lefty crusher? I'm unimpressed. Mydroth Keeschel at the corners. Matt Wallner once again gets it into right. That's down. Tie ball game in the 5th. Buxton a chance to blow it wide open. And instead, he strikes out to their reliever. Fair enough. All right, we're going to get Montgomery warming up first because I want to stay lefty-lefty against this lineup for as long as I can. As Riley Green lines out. Cork hits it into right. Nicely done by Wallner. Here's Colt Keith. He hits it all the way down the line. That'll be a nice... Really? He didn't go to second? Fair enough. I'll let him face Dingler. Dingler hits it into left and caught. All right, really good from Fromber. 6 innings, they only get 1 run. I'll take that and like it. Nothing for us in the 6th, though. So we're going to stay lefty. Mason Montgomery to face Kerry Carpenter, who famously cannot hit a lefty to save his natural life. And he strikes out here. Very good there, sir. All right, how many pitches did Mason need? 9. I'm leaving him back in for the next inning as they go Kyle Finnegan. I'm going to pinch hit for Tyler Freeman here. We're going to give Gabriel Gonzalez the bat. He hits it into center. That's down at the warning track. A lovely double for the pinch hitting outfielder. Very good, sir. Come on, Erod, bring him home. Hits it up and to right. That'll be caught. Not deep enough to move Gonzalez. Keishel hits it into right, and that's caught as well. And we get the double, but that's about it. All right. Subwise, pretty simple. Mydroth goes to second. Culpepper takes over in the 9 spot at short. And then we're going to get Funderburk going. I'm staying lefty. Like, it's working. I jinxed us as McGonigal gets it down. Jahmai Jones has to wait a second because first Kevin McGonigal steals off a Rushman. The man has 45 speed, Adley. Have some respect. All right. Do I want him to face Riley Green? I think I do. I think Mason can get him. And he does. Let's see if he can get Torque. And he does. Mason strikes him out. All right. In that case, Funderburk can sit down. I'm going to warm up Watanabe if we take the lead. I'm going to warm up Cole Sands if we do not. As they bring in a lefty. Tyler Holton to face Wallner. Hits it up the middle. Ground out from him. Here's Buxton. Gets it down in right. I'm not going to have him run just yet. I'm going to see if Adley can get him around first. Hits it into left. That's caught. All right, I'm going to run him. Chill. Buxton goes, and he is safe. All right, Trey, come on, buddy. Grounds out to short. Yeah, Trey Morgan has not had a very good playoff. All right, so we're going to sit Watanabe down. Montgomery, 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 4 Ks. Love that. We're going to get Cole Sands to face Colt Keith, Dylan Dingler, and Kerry Carpenter in the 9th. Gets Keith to pop up to center. Very good, sir. Max Clark, pinch hitting. Flies out to Wallner. Kerry Carpenter, a righty crusher. But he pops it up the center. Buxton's there. Okay, bottom of the 9th. For a chance at the walk-off, no matter what happens, Watanabe is going to get the 10th inning. So here we go. Royce Lewis grounds out to third. I'm not pinch hitting for Mydroth. As he grounds out to third. Can Kalen Culpepper make it 3 for 3 groundouts? Swings at the first pitch. Well, he grounded out to short. All right, we're going to extra innings. And Mr. Watanabe is going to come in. And remember, there is no ghost runner in the playoff, which despite the fact that the Tigers lost like a 16-inning slap fest against the Mariners in the ALDS Game 5, I like the decision to do no ghost runners. Trevor Larnach pinch hitting our old friend. And he flies out to center. Buxton lays out and makes the catch. Well done, sir. But McGonigal walks. Owen Casey to pinch hit. Swing and a miss. All right. They go lefty and Dylan Lee. So we're going to leave Erod out there to face him. Swing and a miss. Nothing doing. Luke Keeschel hits it third. Pretty standard out there. Matt Wallner, our last hope. And he struck him out. That's tough. All right, so Watanabe is going to face Riley Green and Torque, regardless of what happens. And he walked Riley on 4 pitches. All right, I'm going to let him face Torque. Hits it to second, and they get him. So I want him to face Colt Keith. No. I'm going to go to Keckering. Because Keckering has the strikeout ability, which I think is what we need right now. And he gets Colt Keith looking. I'm a genius. Jake Rogers in catch. And he strikes out. All right, bottom of the 11th. Buxton up first. And he strikes out looking. Rushman hits it into center. But Riley Green is there to make the catch. I am going to pinch hit here for Trey Morgan. We're going to give Walker Jenkins the bat and a chance to be a hero in the bottom of the 11th. And instead he struck out. We go to the 12th. Orion Keckering in to face Kerry Carpenter. And he walked him. Veerling bunts right to Royce Lewis. And they double Carpenter. It was a bunt fly, not a grounder. That's tough. Larnach does get aboard. How dare he? We're going to get Funderburk warming up in case McGonigal gets aboard. Hits it up to center. Buxton's there. Got him. Okay. Good work from Keckering there to get me the 5 outs. And here we are with Royce Lewis, Meidroth, and Culpepper. There we go. Royce Lewis gets it down. This is certainly an extra base hit, and it is a double. All right, a pair of sac flies. We win the game. Meidroth gets it into center. That's down. I am not going to send him. There are no outs. No reason to send him. Culpepper hits it past the jumping Colt Keith. Royce Lewis scores, and that, folks, is a ball game. We walk off the Tigers 2-1 in a 12-inning offenseless ball game. It must be said. I think both teams emptied their benches. I think I didn't use Miguel Amaya, but I think they used all 5 of their offensive subs. We used 4 bullpen arms. They used 6 for the record. Mason Montgomery giving me 2 innings there. Giving me the 7th and the 8th was insane. Really good. All right. And now we turn our attention to Game 4 as Miller Green wins Best Pitcher of the year or the month. Hey, he got Reliever of the Year for his work in AAA this season. Very good. He was our 10th round draft pick from a year prior. All right, so Game 4, we win it. We take the series, lose, and we're on to Game 5. They got Cade Povich on the mound. We have Joe Ryan. And it is another lefty. I think I'm just going to play this crew. I don't love starting Tyler Freeman, but I mean, Maedroth does have 4 hits in this series. Yeah, I think I'll go against the splits here. We'll give Maedroth the at bat, and then Gabe Gonzalez definitely to DH. All right, let's rock and roll. Joe Ryan on the mound with a chance to take it here. Trey Sweeney, it looks like, was the emergency replacement, as he has not played in the majors the entirety of this save so far, but he's getting a start in the playoffs. Long live baseball. Oh, Riley Green, 2-run shot. Tigers are on the board. But Jenkins is on second, and Luke Keeschel with the line drive to right. Runners at the quarters. Batwalder walks. Bases loaded. Byron Buxton promptly strikes out looking fair play, sir. Rushman hits it to third, and they get the double play. We had bases loaded, no outs. Couldn't score anyone. If that ain't depressing, I don't know what is. As Carpenter strikes out. Dingler flies out to center. Very good. Trey Sweeney, his first MLB at bat in 2 years, strikes out looking. Royce Lewis strikes out. Everybody's striking out. You know what? At least Gabe hit the ball. And Maedroth pops it up. We go to the third. Nothing doing for the Tigers. Culpepper is on second for Luke Keeschel. Hits it into center, but that'll be grabbed. Max Clark and Byron Buxton in center field. What a wonderful display. As Wallner flies out there. Oh, and Torque hits a solo home run. 3-0 Tigers. Rushman is on second. Royce Lewis gets it down in center. Rushman is not fast at all. So he is holding up at third. Gonzalez hits it deep to center. That should score Rushman. Okay, we're on the board. We have a run. And Maedroth gets it down and left. I'm telling you, he's good for 1 hit a game. Is that true in the regular season also? Pretty darn close. Good for 1 hit a game. 19 out of 20 for the White Sox, 64 out of 65 for us. Culpepper flies out to center to end the fun, but we do get a run back. Nothing for the Tigers in the 5th. Nothing for us either. I am going to get... Is Mick Abel fully ready? He is. But the problem... Well, no, because I have Taj. Yeah, I have Taj no matter what. So, in all actuality, this will be fine. All right, I'm going to pull Joe Ryan. I don't want him facing Max Clark, so we'll get him out. 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 7 Ks. Not bad, but we'll give Mick Abel the inning. Clean from him. And now Rushman and Gonzalez are aboard. Maedroth hits it to short. Second for 1, first for 2. Oh, brother. And Mick gets me the 7th also. Look at Mick Abel having a lovely tryout to be a reliever next season. We don't really have a spot for him, but we'll figure it out. Is Kalen Culpepper the green light on a 3-0 count solo home run? That's my shortstop, folks. As Jenkins gets it down against the lefty. Very good from him. Luke Keeschel gets it into center. Let's go. They're going for the throw. Jenkins, not in time. Come on, Matt. Come on. Hits it to second. They get the runner at home. Man, we just keep seeing that. Buxton swinging a miss. He is 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. Adley Rushman flies out to left. I mean, good that we got 1 run, but we really should have gotten more. Mick Abel, 2 innings, 1 hit, no earned run, no walks, 3 Ks. We're going to go Funderburk for the 8th. Clean from him. And then Cantorino is going to get the 9th for Justin Tapa. There we go. Royce Lewis gets it down and left. I think if we take the lead, obviously, if it's it'll be Tapa. But if it's tied or we're still losing, then we go Cantorino. Maedroth hits it deep to right and gone. The hero of Minnesota, 407 feet. The lead is ours in the bottom of the 8th. And we are 3 outs away from a series win against the Detroit Tigers and moving on to the ALCS. Well, this will be fun. Justin Tapa to face McGonigal, Torque, and Riley Green. Oh, boy. McGonigal gets it down. That'll be a double easily. I mean, realistically, in terms of fit and ready guys, it's Cole Sands and maybe Cantorino. Strikeout of Torque is massive. Riley Green gets it down in center. That's going to score McGonigal, and we have a tie game once again. Justin Tapa has blown the save. Colt Keith hits into the double play to end the inning, but the damage is almost certainly done. All right, we're going to get Cantorino for the 10th, unless we walk it off here. That'd be nice. Luke Keeschel pops it up 80 feet. Matt Wallner with the chance for glory. Hits it to the pitcher's mound. He might beat this out. He does not. All right, Buxton, you're 0 for 4, buddy. Come on. Lines out to third. We're going to extra innings again, folks. I want Cantorino to face Carp, and then we'll see. Or excuse me, Tapa to face Carp. Oh, what a mistake. Carpenter hits it to the wall. That's a double for him. See if he can get Dylan. No. Yeah, I left Tapa in too long. I mean, he was still in the green. Trevor Larnach, our old friend, pinch hit, 2-run shot. That stings. Oh, man. All right. And Cantorino walks Garcia and Max Clark. This could get so much worse. McGonigal strikes out. Torque follows suit. All right. 2 to tie, 3 to win. Rushman, Royce Lewis, and that Tarek Skubal. Okay. So they're burning Skubal for game 5. Why would they do this? He would have been ready. I mean, maybe they're not burning him. I don't know what his stamina is going to look like, but he would have been their starter for game 5 if they win this game. But they're bringing him in for the 10th. The seams. And he gets Rushman swinging. Royce Lewis lines out Trey Sweeney. Since it is a lefty, I'm going to leave Gonzalez in. Hits it up the middle. Trey Sweeney is there and gets him. They get the win 6-4, and we are going to 5. Man, we were so close. We gave up a run in the 9th, 2 in the 10th. Justin Tapa gave up 3 runs. His worst outing of the season. They just popped him. Overall, I mean, the lineup did pretty good. Again, they left 23 men on. Buxton went 0 for 5 with 4 Ks, so that part sucked. But yeah, now they don't have Tarek Skubal for game 5. Oh, they do. He's fit. They're throwing out 50% rest Tarek Skubal. I mean, surely we have to win this. 50%, I mean, he's giving you 45 pitches. Okay. So they're going lefty. I think I'm going to stick with my previous plan of Mydroff in at second. I am debating benching Gabe, but again, he's been good for 1 hit a game. And all of these games have been low scoring, so that might just be enough. Okay. We have a pretty healthy bullpen for everyone. Not too worried about that. I am worried about Taj Bradley versus Tarek Skubal. But yeah, everyone in our bullpen except our setup guys are at 90%. So whoever we need, we can get. All right, Walker Jenkins, I'm going to be honest, buddy. This is the second straight playoffs you've disappointed me. What do you have for me in game 5? And he rifles it down the first base line. That'll do. As Jenkins gets a leadoff single. Oh, no, the error. Colt Keith at third. Keishel is aboard. And remember, Tarek Skubal, he's on 50% rest. And he walks Matt Wallner. Oh, boy. Folks, Buxton gets it down and right. The AI has made a terrible decision here. As we take the lead, Rushman strikes out looking. Come on, Royce Lewis. He struck out too. Gabriel Gonzalez strikes out. Man, we had bases loaded, no outs. We only get 1 run. Tarek is still in the game. He's at 35 pitches, almost in the yellow. We can get him out here in the second inning as Mydroff hits it off the wall. A double for the second baseman. They pull him. Nope, he's still in for Culpepper. Culpepper hits it up, but that's not going to move Mydroff over. He swung at the first pitch also. That does not help our plan of increasing Skubal's pitch count. Jenkins grounds out. Come on, Luke. Yeah, struck him out too. All right. We'll see if that's it for Skubal. He's on 47 pitches. With any luck, that'll be it. Nope, he's still in for Matt Wallner. And he got him swinging. Man, he's about to be far in the red here. Buxton strikes out. Skubal is still in. And Rushman grounds out. I mean, to Buxton and Rushman's credit, the guy was in the red and they had 2 full count ABs. So, good news is that's Skubal done after 3 innings. Bad news is, outside of that one game, we have not had success against the Tigers bullpen this series. All right, McGonagall strikes out looking. Torque hits it back to Taj. The throw in time. We go to the fourth. Oh my God, he's still out there. He's at 65. He's in the black. I'm not going to complain. Maybe I should because he keeps getting my guys. As Royce Lewis grounds out. Gabe pops it up. Who knew that dead, tired Tarek Skubal was the best pitcher on earth? Mydroth walks, and that's it. They pull him. How many pitches? Because he was on 50% rest, and he pitched 0. You're just not going to tell me? You're just going to let that be there? Oh, 78. 78 pitches on 50% rest. My God. I didn't realize that the reason Reese Olson didn't get the start is he came down with gout. So that's why Skubal started. Well, okay then. That mystery is solved, and Culpepper grounds out to third to end that. So now it's a bullpen day for the Tigers. Taj Bradley's on 53 pitches through 3 innings, which is terrible. And he allows a game-tying solo shot to Riley Green, and now Cole Keith is on second. Make that third with the ground out. Oh, boy. And a wild pitch scores him. Tigers have the lead in Game 5. Dingler hits it deep to center. That is off the fence. Also known as the invisible wall. That is Comerica Park. And Dylan Dingler is hurt. Jake Rogers is in. Pinch run and then to catch. Man, the Tigers are just a walking wounded right now. Javi Baez is down. Dylan Dingler's down. Reese Olson's down. Oh, Adolis Garcia hits it into left. The throw home in time. And that, folks, is why, even though Walker Jenkins is struggling mightily, he is in this game. He is one of the best defensive left fielders in the game. It's really the only reason he has any WAR. As Taj gives me the 5th, that'll be it for him. All right, here's my plan. Everyone's getting an inning. Festa for the 6th. Cole Sands for the 7th. And then we will play it by ear. Gabriel Gonzalez and Mydroth are aboard. Kalen Culpepper pops it up foul. Colt Keith is there. Easy out. All right. Pretty okay from Taj. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. But again, his pitch count just gets insane. And a leadoff triple from Colt Keith. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I only need Festa to get 3 outs. And he doesn't exactly get me that. Jake scores Colt. 3-1 ball game. Ray Sweeney hits it to second. They get the out at first. I feel like you can get Jake Rogers there, but so be it. All right, Garcia K's. Okay, we're going to go Cole Sands for the 7th. Jenkins strikes out. Ooh, they walk Luke. Don't know why he even checked his swing on a 3-0 count. Oh boy. Throwing error. We had one of those earlier. I'm going to see if they just want to walk Matt Wallner. Nope. All right. Full count. Here we go. Swing and a miss. And Buxton pops it up to end the inning. Runner on scoring position, 1 out. We cannot score him. All right. Cole Sands, the 7th is yours. Good man. And then the 8th, Keckering no matter what. Yeah, I think so. I know it was on 89%, which is lower than some of the other guys, but with how bad our offense is, we need to keep them to 3 runs to even have a chance at this. As Royce Lewis goes down, I'm going to leave Gabe in. It's still a lefty. And they walked him. Okay, here's my draft. They're going Tyler Holton for the 4-out save. He gets my drop to ground out there. All right, we're going Keckering for the 8th. Kerry Carpenter is on second for Trey Sweeney. Hits it up to short. Culpepper is there, gets the out. Okay, we're down to the last 3 outs. I'm going to pinch hit for Kalen Culpepper for obvious reasons. Trey Morgan is going to get the bat to face Tyler Holton. Hits it up into right, and that's going to get down. We have a base runner. Walker Jenkins pops it up to first base. Oh, that hurts. Luke Keeschel hits it up to second for short for 1, first for 2. And the Minnesota Twins go down in Game 5 of the ALDS. That hurts. That really hurts. Once again, similarly to last year where we lost in the World Series against the Dodgers, like we had them. Like we had them in Game 4. We had a 2-run lead in the 9th inning. Or no, excuse me, 1-run lead in the 9th. They tied up. Then they score 2 in extras, and that's that. Man. I mean, also in this is our offense scored 4 runs, 2 runs, 4, and then 1. So not a very good day series from the offense. It's pretty disappointing. But again, I mean, you make it to the World Series one year and then you lose in the divisional series the next year. I don't know if that's a huge disappointment. Our owner is probably going to be disappointed. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Caden Lopez gets the top pitcher award for High A. He was our 4th-round draft pick last season. His potential plummeted, obviously, but good to see that he's pitching well. Percentiles look beautiful. Love that. Probably a reliever, but that's still good to see. And yeah, we lose in 5. I think it hurts, but overall happy with the season. I think now I'll just sim a bit to get to the off season. It has to create all the players for the international free agents. I'll just get scouting reports on the ones that are on this list. There's most certainly a quicker way to do this, but at this point, I'm committed. The sunk cost fallacy will be honored. Yeah, we don't have that. Like, our international free agents are doing pretty good in the minors right now, but I need to check in on them. All right, let's just advance until the end of the playoff as we get all these various reports. No point in reading all of them. We're probably going to get them like 3 other times anyway. Aha, the KBO has posted players. Let me get scouting reports on these 4 players just to see if they would be worth going after. And then let's just go until the end of playoffs. I'm a little annoyed that this screen doesn't show you the tree as it happens anymore, but So be it. We move to November. $581, a fine job. The Boston Red Sox are your 2027 World Series champs, beating the Padres in 5. So the World Series, actually, the championship series featured 3 wildcard teams: Red Sox, Padres, Phillies. Yeah, the bye teams got smoked overall. We were the only ones that didn't make it. Very sad. But that is your playoff. All right, let me save. I think it's similarly to last season, where we went 10 games above 500, made the wild card, or excuse me, got the bye, and then made the World Series, but had a very disappointing end to the World Series because of how we lost it in 7 games. This time around, I think going 94 and 68 is awesome. Losing in the divisional series, not so much, especially to a team that we had a higher record than for the majority of the season. So that hurts a bit. I mean, if you just look here, like we had a higher record than the Tigers since, because we're this arrow here. I don't know if we dipped here, but if we did, it was in late July, and then before that in mid-June. So there is that. All right. Since we lost in the ALDS, we're about an hour 40 minutes in. I think I'll do a little bit of off-season prep. It looks like we have all the scouting reports. Let me look at some of the KBO guys. I'm good. All pass. Those percentiles look very nice. Nah. Nah. All right. We're 0 for 4 on the KBO guys. All right. New budget. All right. Review season goals. Here we go. Team record. The goal is to win it all. We made a strong push. A little disappointed. He does not think Meidroth was an upgraded shortstop. Watanabe was our darn close to a Cy Young winner. Attendance was up, obviously. Fan engagement less so. Staff member retires. Our scouting director, Duran Johnson, has retired. Top prospect list does not have any Minnesota Twins on it. Oh my God, they haven't called up Jesus Made. That what? I'm not going to question it. All right, off season begins. So first things first, we need a new scouting director. And then, do I want to fire anyone? I don't think I do. I think everyone is essentially up after next season anyway, so I think I'll keep the crew around. Personality wise, I want to avoid anyone that is controlling or normal. Anything else is fine. All right, let's look at scouting directors. Can I get 3 legendaries? Nope. Outstanding, legendary, legendary, outstanding. Would I rather have... What's your personality? Oh, I have to look at a different screen, don't I? Default. And it's a different order, too. Man. We're doing this the old-fashioned way. Granger. He has a normal personality, which isn't great for us. What was the other guy? It was either De Leon or Day. Day is normal. De Leon is normal. Okay. I mean, at that point, you might as well take the best guy and accept that the personality might not be a great fit. His player evaluation also isn't great, but I'll take it. How much does he want? Oh, 1.65. Fair enough. All right, we'll get Granger in the billing. Okay, first things first, before I touch anything, let's go to our development lab and figure out what we want to do. I think pitching wise, in the rotation, there's not much I want to tinker with except Taj Bradley. I want to see if I can get him to improve a secondary pitch because right now he only has two good pitches. I would like the splitter, the curveball to improve. Relievers, I think Orion Keckering is pretty good. He's developing without my help. David Festa is somebody I want to put development into, specifically, I think movement. Because if I can get movement to being above average, just like control is, I think we're in business. That's it for pitching. I'm not touching anyone else. The hitters are where we're going to do a lot. Luke Keeschel, I think, is fine. Trey Morgan, I would like to get gap power to try to increase his playability because DH is a spot that's open next season. Other infielders, Kalen Culpepper. I want to improve. I think his eye, because he's in the 32 percentile for walks. He did have 12 doubles, which wasn't a lot. I think still we're going to go eye for Culpepper. Gabriel Gonzalez. This is very simple. We are going to improve his plate discipline, his eye as well, because he is also competing for that DH spot. Walker Jenkins, I would like to improve his gap power because he also only hit 12 doubles this season and was overall, I would say, or no, excuse me, 22. I didn't scroll down far enough. I think overall, he didn't have that good of a season. He has 2.2 WAR, but that's because his left fielding stats were outstanding. He was nearly a 10 zone rating player. And then two more. I don't think I want to give Erod a spot in the development lab because I don't view him as a future starter. So let us descend to some prospects. What's Nazir Wright's risk? Medium? Dang. Let me just look at AAA then. What's Eduardo's? Low. Okay, Eduardo. For him, I think his gap power is okay. He had 27 doubles. So for him, we'll do plate discipline. And then second prospect. I mean, Merrick Houston, I think, unfortunately, just isn't going to develop well. Like, that's pretty much where we're at. I think Charlie Soto might be it. Try to get a control boost. It is medium risk, but I think that's worth it. So that's our development lab. So pitchers, Taj Bradley, secondary pitch, David Festa, movement, Soto, control. Infield, catcher, Eduardo Tai, plate discipline. Infielders, Trey Morgan, gap power, Culpepper, discipline. Outfielders, Gonzalez, discipline, Jenkins, power. I think that's about what we want. Okay. Now that that's done, let's do a quick, and I mean quick, sort of recap of the season player-wise and how I think I want this to be set up next season. I think Walker, I'll just start from catcher. So Rushman, we acquired in the trade that we sent Vic Carantini and Jose Olivares. Olivares, if anyone is curious, the Orioles had him as a starter in Double A and Triple A. Looks like they called him up in relief once for a couple innings. I mean, yeah, his pitches development looks okay, but he's really struggled in Triple A. Vic Carantini was a backup for him, just like he was a backup for us. So I assume he's going to hit the free agent market. Rushman did really good. I mean, he had 20 home runs, only 84 strikeouts, so good that those are down. We're 3.4 WAR. He threw out 24%, which is average, but at one point of the season, it was like mid 30s, so really good. We signed him to a 2-year, $46 million contract extension, which I think is fair for how well he played. Didn't do great in the playoffs, which isn't nothing, but he's going to be 30 next year. 2 more years as a starter. I think that's about where we're at with him. All of his percentiles are really good except base running, but I don't really care about that. So I think Rushman at catcher, very, very good. I think my plan next season is for him to bat 5th. First base, Luke Keeschel continues to be amazing. He had 706 plate appearances this past season. Every counting number was up except for walks, except for Ks, which were down. He was awesome. 5.4 WAR player, 829 OPS, 19 home runs. Defensively at first, zone rating of 3, only 3 errors on the season. If you want to compare that to last year, it is down from a 4.2 to 3, but also errors were down from 6 to 3. I'll take that. He is awesome. We signed him to a 8-year, $176 million contract extension. He is going to be our first baseman for probably the entirety of the save. I'm really happy with him. Good man. Second base. So we played a lot of different guys at second base this season. Eventually did a mid-season trade to get Chase Meidroth. That was as I scroll, the Kendry Rojas, Cody Clemens deal. Clemens, to his credit, did really well with the White Sox. 794 OPS. Looks like they played him mainly at first and third. Obviously, the problem with Cody Clemens on our team is his best defensive position is first base, and he's never going to play there for us with Luke Keeschel. So Kendry Rojas, if anyone is curious, did get called up by the White Sox, and they used him out of relief for 45 innings. So I'm good. I'm glad he was able to get playing time with them in relief. But Meidroth, I think, looked pretty good. Had a really good playoff finish with 1,000 OPS. Very good defensively. If we just look at the majors here, the White Sox played him mainly at second, as did we. He is a negative zone rating at short by not by much, only 0.9, but second base is clearly his position. I only had him at short to try to cheese the owner goal a little bit, but he did play at short a decent amount for us. He's still on the minimum. He's not ARB eligible yet. I think he's going to be our starting second baseman next season, but it's not like that position is locked in long term. He'll probably bat 8th next season. Shortstop. So Kalen Culpepper was the disappointment of the year. There is no way around it. 210 average, 278 on base, 348 slug, 626 OPS. Those are better numbers than next year, but he has a bat that should be doing better. Defensively at short, negative 4.4 zone rating. Last year, it was a positive 1. 6 errors on the year. I mean, listen, he's going to be our shortstop next year. He's good defensively. He's got solid speed, but man, he just needs to get that bat figured out. I think right now he's batting ninth. I don't love Bydroth and Culpepper back to back, I must say, but it's kind of where I'm at right now. Third base, Royce Lewis. So unfortunately, the injury bug got Royce a little bit. He picked up an strained oblique that caused him to miss 4 weeks, torn quad 7 weeks, which is unfortunate because he was doing really, really well offensively. Not as good as last season, especially the home runs down from 27 to 10, but still hit the ball really well. He's our captain. He's never going to walk, but his strikeouts were also way down. Defensively at third, he is just above average, like barely. Range ain't great. Zoderang is a 1.5. That is what it is. And next season is the last year of his deal. We signed him to a 2-year deal, kind of a series of 1-year prove it deals. We'll see how it goes next season. I would like to keep him long term, but we do have a lot of potential third basemen coming up the prospect pipeline. So that is something to keep in mind. Backups. So Tyler Freeman, backup utility guy. I think it's all about how much he wants in arbitration. He did not do very well for us offensively. And then defensively, at second base, he's really, really good. We played him at third for a bit. That didn't really work. But I think defensively, he can do the job. Outfield. So Walker Jenkins, I talked about already. I think there is a good bat in there. He's only 22. Keep that in mind. If anyone watched my Rockies rebuild, I liken him to Santiago Munoz from years gone by. So I think Walker, um, he's definitely going to be here next year, definitely going to be a starter. But I think the question remains, is he our leadoff guy, or would he be better served hitting lower in the order? I think right now he's hitting leadoff, but that is subject to change. Center field, Buxton did not retire, which, it was definitely unlikely, but still possible, especially because he had a lot of injuries this past season, including one that knocked him out a month. He's our center fielder until he's not. He is a free agent after next season. And in terms of a contract extension, what he wants 7 years, 200 million. We cannot afford that. Our owner is a penny pincher. So I think my plan with Buxton is he's going to be our center fielder all of next year. And if he retires, cool. If he leaves in free agency, I'm going to be really sad. But I don't think there's an argument for extending him, especially with his injury concerns. Right field, Matt Wallner had a phenomenal season. 3 WAR, 32 home runs, 100 RBIs. Ks were down, which is awesome. Really, really good. We signed him to a 2-year extension to kind of beat the last arbitration year. He is going to be 30, and defensively, he is terrible. Negative 15.1 zone rating. He did have 13 assists on the year, but that zone rating sucks. So there's an argument that he should be our DH. And if he's our DH, that kind of opens up a whole slew of potential for us. Right now, I am going to have Matt Wallner DH. I'll get back to other options in a second. Backup outfield, Gabriel Gonzalez was up here the whole time, 100 games, only 69 starts. Did okay, I would say. Did okay. Didn't strike out, didn't walk. 23 doubles, which pretty good in that sample. His expectation did change halfway through the season to starting lineup, and he is angry that he was a backup. So that is something to keep in mind. The problem with him defensively is he may be an even worse defender than Matt Wallner. Negative 1.5 zone rating in right, negative 0.6 arm. He was terrible in left. I had to play him 17 games, 10 games at center, which is like doomsday scenario. Like if he ever has to play in center field, we really are doomed. Right now, though, I am going to pencil Gabriel Gonzalez in as our starting right fielder. That could change, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Erod was up and down AAA in the majors this year a couple times. I first see Erod as being like a backup outfielder for us for years to come. He's only 24, going to be 25 next season. He's got 65 in every rating, 70 rated left fielder, got a little bit of power, pretty good eye. He takes a lot of walks. However, he also struck out 66 times in under 200 plate appearances. That's a bit scary. So if the bat falls off a cliff, then could be in trouble. Defensive rating wise, he was phenomenal in right field. 5.6 zone rating, one arm. Not great in center, but few guys are decent in left. So I think he's a really good fourth outfielder. Alan Roden, who we called up to take third base essentially when Royce Lewis went down, gave him some starts here and there. He was a Rule 5 pick. The Padres took him in Rule 5, gave him 2 at bats off the bench, and then promptly cut him. And he did pretty well in the majors. It is a small sample, 135 plate appearances, but had 400 slugging, 340 on base, 97 percentile for Ks. He only struck out 19 times. Problem is, he's the same level defensively as Gabriel Gonzalez. If I do want to compare the men, really quick, Gabriel has 5 better BABIP, 5 better power, but 5 worse avoid K. Lefties, Gabe takes Roden out of the park. I think Alan Roden is a player we might look to trade. He's going to be 28 next season. He's not great defensively, doesn't really have a home on this team. If there's ever an injury and I need like an emergency DH, that could be him. Speaking of DH, let's talk Trey Morgan. So we took him in the Rule 5 draft to be our DH. He got 111 starts. We started him 18 times in first and then once in left field. He wasn't that great in first. So I think if Trey Morgan plays, it's going to be DH. And I think like he did well. 350 on base, 419 slug for a 769 OPS. He was worth 1.8 WAR. I think there's a decent bat in here. Is it good enough to earmark, 400 at bats every season? Probably not, but we'll see. We're going to have him work on his gap power in the developmental lab. If that improves, we could really have something. But I think right now he's kind of on the bench role, as I want to give Gabriel Gonzalez a lion's share of ABs at DH. One thing I forgot to touch on, Miguel Amaya was our backup catcher this season after we signed him as a free agent in September last season. Overall, did really well. 65 games, 53 starts, pretty good split for a backup catcher. Overall, I mean, listen, 418 slug, had 6 home runs. Defensively wasn't great. Negative zone rating, only threw out 12% of runners. So similarly to Tyler Freeman, we're going to see what he wants in arbitration because Eduardo Tait is down there in AAA, just permanently mad at the universe. So we may want to call him up to get Eduardo rolling, but he is only 21, so we'll see. However, genuinely, we're bleeding catchers or Jiraiya right now. And Ronald Hernandez is another catcher that could potentially be starting level later on. Pitching. Okay, so we traded Pablo Lopez. And for those curious what happened to Pablo Lopez, He pitched one start in the playoffs against the Phillies, 5 innings, 3 hits, no one runs, a walk, and 2K. So pretty good. We traded Pablo Lopez because we were never going to extend him. And we sent him to the Mets because they may have, and they have. They gave him a 2-year, $46 million extension with an opt out after year one. Pablo Lopez for us did okay. 15 starts, 151 whip, 327 BABIP. Walks were down, or excuse me, I keep looking at AAA. Walks were up, Ks were up a bit, but the whip was insane. So I'm happy we sent him to a team that needed it. Let's talk starting rotation. So Framber, who we traded, so we inherited his contract. He has an opt-out after next season. At the moment, he's here for all of next season. We're not going to trade him because his contract is so big that we'd have to either retain a lot of it or attach a prospect. And at that point, not worth it. 25 starts this season due to injury. Whip was a little high, but the BABIP was in the floor, 242. I'll take that. A little bit worrisome. Walks were up to about 4. So that's why you get a 28 percentile for walks. But overall, really, really happy with him. Are we overpaying for him? Yes. That's an objective truth, but happy with that. Joe Ryan was our best pitcher this season. It's not particularly close. 32 starts, 3.3 ERA, 112 whip, 274 BABIP, 2.4 WAR. Phenomenal. And he has not even started the 3-year, $47 million contract extension that we gave him. So he's pretty cheap, which is how we're able to pay, Framber that much. Really happy with him this season. Taj Bradley improved. However, good Lord. 32 starts, 3.86 ERA, 1.33 whip, which is down. Home runs are down, walks were down, Ks were up by a little bit. BABIP is still at about 314. So I don't think Taj Bradley is ever going to develop into like a 1 or a 2. I think I could do a lot worse as a 3. And if he's my 4th starter, then we have a pretty good rotation. He is ARB eligible. I'm a little scared at what the number is going to be. Zebby Matthews. Again, really happy with Zebby. 32 starts, 3.56 ERA, 1.10 whip, 284 BABIP, struck out 10 guys per 9 this season. However, and I pointed this out midseason, his fastball velo has died. In 2026, it was 94.8. This season, it's down a whole tick to 93. Could be something, could be nothing. But really happy with Zebby. He's also ARB eligible. So him and Taj Bradley are going to keep on keeping on next season. Mick Abel. So one of the reasons we traded Pablo Lopez is I wanted Mick Abel to get starts the rest of the season to see how he could do. And overall, I think if Mick Abel is your 5th starter, if he's clearly your worst, you're okay. However, there's a reason in the playoffs we moved him to reliever. Or rather, had him appear off the bench. 4.8 ERA is high. 1.38 whip is about the cusp of where you're comfortable with. 271 BABIP is okay. The problem is fundamentally simple. He allowed 0.6 more home runs than last season, 0.2 more walks, and Ks were down. So that's what leads to 2 WAR dropping to 0.2. I right now am of the opinion we are going to move Mick Abel to a relief role to get the most out of him going forward. He has 45 stamina, never really went deep into games. The max you're getting is 5 innings. I think Mick Abel is going to be a long reliever for us next season, and we're going to have to figure out the rest because that does create a log jam in our bullpen with everyone else coming back. So we have at least 4 out of 5 in the rotation. Let's talk bullpen. Watanabe was our closer this year. We signed him to a 3-year, $16.75 million contract out of Japan, and he led the league in saves. Pretty good. But if you look under the hood, some things are a bit scary. ERA of 4, whip of 1.4, and he allowed 1.5 homers per 9. 355 BABIP is terrifying. So there is that. Good news, a lot of the percentiles are pretty good. Really, the two concerning ones are walks. He's in the 34th percentile, and then his hard hit percentage off of is 24%. That's a little scary. That said, he's our closer. Like, he did well enough. He's got the stuff. He's our guy. Orion Keckering, who we acquired in the deadline deal last season, got a full season of work for us and was amazing. 65 innings, 2.3 ERA, 1.13 whip on the season. Lovely from him. The fastball velo stayed at 97, which is something we were concerned about. Just a very dependable reliever. He got popped in July a bit, 1.5 ERA in August and September after that. If we didn't have Watanabe, he'd be our closer. But he's a good guy to have as a closer option. He got 8 saves this season. So we have that in our toolbox. Got the save in the playoff against the Mariners. Really happy with that. Justin Tapa. So this is one where I fear we just got the last good year out of Justin Tapa. 55 innings this season after 67 the year before. To be fair, he did pull an abdominal muscle and miss a week, but he also had that last season, so you be the judge. 2.4 ERA is nice. 101 whip is beautiful. 297 BABIP is a little scary. However, walks were down, Ks were up. The problem is, his fastball velo last season 92.1, this year 92.1. So that hasn't changed. We did sign him to a 1-year, $1.5 million extension. What this essentially guarantees him is a spring training spot, where if he struggles in spring training, he's going to be 37 years old. We may move on from him, but still really good this year. Cole Sands did very, very well for himself. 2.9 ERA. And we used him a bit more in game, where obviously last year he had 73 game appearances. This year he only has 55, but he had nearly the same innings. And what we got for that was lower whip, lower walks, more Ks per 9, and a lower BABIP. I think that was pretty good for us. He is 30, but overall, pretty good. My concern is he only has one good pitch. So if that falls off, could be in trouble a little bit. Mason Montgomery was okay, but has blow-ups every now and again where you look at it and you're like, oh my God. He had an ERA of 5 in May, or 5.4 in May and August, an ERA of 7 in June, and had a pretty solid September to bring that down a bit. I think, listen, he's a good reliever. ERA of 4, little high. He also had 13 wins, which is hilarious, as a reliever. 1.26 whip. Walks were way up to 4, but Ks were way up to 11.3. I'm happy with him. I think if, let's say we don't keep Justin Tapa next season and Cole Sands regresses, Montgomery is a guy that's going to need to take a lot more on his plate. David Festa, our long relief extraordinaire. He has given us 100 innings out of the bullpen for back-to-back years with an identical whip, lower BABIP, identical Ks. He did end up walking a few more guys, but ERA was down to 2.6, and he took 7 wins, no losses. I love David Festa, one of my favorite players on this team. He's awesome. Um, got popped a little bit against the Diamondbacks and in the playoffs, but he's great. ARB eligible, which is one of the reasons I kind of wanted to get him in that developmental lab to increase his movement because he's going to become more expensive. Percentiles are beautiful. I love it. Matt Cantorino. So if you were to make me bet money on which reliever we would sell high on next season, it would be Cantorino, which is a shame because for the majority of the year, Cantorino was good. But again, he had moments where he got blown up. He was great in April and May, got blown up in June and July. 0 goose egg ERA in August, got blown up in September, got killed in the playoffs. Long reliever, also, I don't know if that's really his thing. I think especially if Mick Abel's going to be in our bullpen, he's going to move to probably a setup role. But still, 250 BABIP, 9.6 Ks per 9. The home runs, though, went up from 0 to 1.1 per 9. Something to think about. And he does have 50 potential. He's going to be 30 years old. He could be a guy we move if needs must. Cody Funderburk. So Funderburk famously did not make our opening day roster. Called him up in May when there was an injury, and he promptly did really, really well for himself for those first few months. But then I sent him down again, called him up again, really went up or down. And I'm at this weird place with Funderburk where he's going to be 31. He doesn't have, like, nothing he does is going to blow you away. But his expected ERA was a 2.10. Last season, for reference, it was a 3.6, and he had a 5.8. Or no, excuse me, he had a 4.1. So clearly, there's just some level of unluckiness. I would place him in the same boat as Justin Tapa, where this first arbitration contract we give him is going to be a spring training invite, essentially, and we'll see how he does. But 3.38 ERA is good. 1.3 whip is borderline. Only 2.6 walks per 9, 8.2 Ks. I think I could do worse, but could also do better. And we have a lot of good relievers in AAA that at some point are going to need to play. Julian Merriweather, unfortunately, fell victim to the numbers game where our bullpen was pretty healthy most of the year, and he just couldn't get, the playing time that he deserved. Only 19 innings of work this season. 3.2 ERA, allowed a lot of hits, 5 walks per 9. Clearly, there was some regression there. His AAA percentiles were spectacular. He was really good in 46 innings in AAA, so happy we could get him there for that. But yeah, Merriweather, I think he's 36. We're going to let him go. But we will always have 2026 where he just steamrolled the opposition. So that's kind of where I'm at. In terms of pitching staff, we're going to need to make one cut in the bullpen, whether that's Tapa, Funderburk, or someone else, and we're going to need one more starter. Last thing I'll do in this stream is let's look at arbitration. So Easy knows Ryan Burr is a no. Julian Merriweather is a no. James Outman is a no. Outman's another one who kind of fell victim to the numbers game a bit, where he's obviously really good defensively, but him and Emmanuel Rodriguez are pretty similar profiles, and I'd rather play Erod than Outman. But I think Outman is a really good outfielder in his own right. So I hope someone signs him. If not, we could bring him back on a minor league deal. All right, so let's look at some specific numbers. So Taj Bradley, 3.6 is fine. Zebi, 3.6. I'm going to up that touch to 3.7.5 for his first contract. Burr, we're leaving. Festa wants 4.4. He was worth 1.4 million. I'm gonna drop that down just to 4 million even and see if the arbitrator likes me. 1.3 for Funderburk is fine. 4 million for Keckering is fine. Mason Montgomery 1.6 is fine. Cole Sands 2.6. I guess he was only worth 0.6 war. Yeah, we can keep him for that. Miguel Amaya wants 3.8 million. Right. I think I kind of want to say no and then try to bring him back in free agency for cheaper. But I don't know if we have to do that much penny pinching. 3.8. I mean, 3.8 is fine. So Tyler Freeman wants 5.5 million, which I think can be worth it if his bat turns around. Because defensively, he's fine. And he has a lot of good percentiles that I like. His expecting batting average, for God's sakes, was 276. I think that's fine. Okay, minor league free agents. David Benuelos, who famously started for us in the playoffs in 2026 due to 40-man rules. Yeah, we're going to let him go. Devison De Los Santos, we would like to offer him a minor league extension. Angel Felipe, I mean, he's never really going to play for me in the majors. He gave up 5, like, he was also the reason why, like, we didn't make the playoff, like, we didn't get the bye because he gave up 5 runs against the Tigers and just got obliterated. But I think he did okay down the stretch. I'm willing to offer him one more. Oh no, he won't even take. Okay, never mind. He's done then. Jose Fermin, I think we're gonna let walk. We signed him in as a minor league free agent in May. Did pretty well in AAA, but majors didn't do great. Defensively, we played him at second and short. He was okay at second, not good at short. I think we're going to let him go, but keep an eye on if he wants a minor league deal again. Yandy Gomez, we would like to keep. He was a closer for parts this year for AAA. We acquired him in the deadline deal with the Tigers. Obviously, want to keep that going. Henry Mendez, we would like to keep. Mendez is in the exact same boat as Gabriel Gonzalez and Alan Roden, where he's not great defensively, but the bat plays. But he definitely had a much worse year in AAA than he did the year before. Something to keep in mind. Ricardo Olivar, I'm going to let go. I think we have a lot of guys in AA outfield that need to get reps in AAA. And I think Ricardo is one of the guys we can move off. Eric Orze, I would like to keep, but my God, look at his numbers. I think I'll let Orze go. I've talked myself out of that one. Kalai Rosario. On the other hand, Rosario, I would like to keep around. His percentiles were beautiful. He did really well in AAA this season. Defensively, not great. Terrible zone rating in right. His range of 10 and left is insane. But I'd like to keep him around his depth. Jose Salas. I think I'm going to keep him because he can play anywhere, and that helps the AI a lot in the minors. Jose Davila, we would like to keep. Bounced him in AA, AAA this season. Clearly not ready for AAA, but he still has 55 potential. Could be a guy we trade, in all honesty, in the offseason for an upgrade at a position, but still developing. Not ready for AAA. Danny D'Andrade, I think we're going to try to keep. Again, really good defensively. Did well in AA. We'll see how he does in AAA going forward. Joel Diaz, I'm going to let him walk. I mean, we just acquired him at trade. I can't get rid of him after just 2 months. He was a part of the Pablo deal where we acquired 4 different guys. So I'd like to keep Joel around for one more year. Rain Doncon, I think I'm going to let him go. 24. The bat hasn't really been there in 2 years. Ronald Hernandez, yep. We need to keep him. He could be our future catcher. Alejandro Hidalgo, we shall keep. Underline is counting numbers aren't great, but his percentiles are really, really good. His expected ERA is only a 2.7. Jalen Nolan, we can keep. He did really well in AA. Good percentiles. I know his ratings suck, but we need guys to pitch down there that we can keep there. So those are the decisions. Oh yeah, let me make sure these all get submitted and there's no weird glitches. All right, let me advance the day just to get all of that taken care of. Last thing I'll touch on before we wrap, because someone asked about it in the comment section of a previous video, for sort of like rookie progress reports or drafted players. So 2027, not a lot of the guys played because almost all of them were high schoolers in rookie ball. So these 6 did not play. Paul Wing in single A, unfortunately, got popped quite a bit. 7 earned runs, 1.76 whip, which is a tad surprising. His FCA, I mean, he should be average to above average in single A. So that's a bit painful. But he is going to still stay in single A. I view him as a potential closer down the line. Really good. Edgar Castro in single A didn't do great offensively. Didn't do good defensively either. I think we might look back on Edgar Castro as a bad draft pick because defensively he's just not there. And he has no power, which means if he's not getting on base, he has literally zero value. But he'll start in single A next year. Wylan Moss was our number 1 draft pick. We started him in high A, which I think was a little bit ambitious. He got popped quite a bit. 1.33 whip, 5.74 ERA, expected ERA at 2.5, but he gave up 2 home runs per 9, 3 walks, 9 Ks. So we'll see. I still think high A is the right move for him next year. But I don't think he's going to be in the majors anytime soon. And then Miles Bailey, who I drafted because I found his ratings and projection insulting based on how well he has done at Florida State in real life. Broken leg, notwithstanding. He did okay in single A and high A, so happy with him. Doesn't really have a position. The AI has tried him at first. Has worked okay. But he's just a guy that's going to be in the minors for probably his whole time here. So wanted to do that because someone specifically asked for it in the comments. As an additional note, we also have Connor Prelip, who missed effectively the whole season with Tommy John and then tore his meniscus. I mean, he's not ARB eligible yet. He's probably going to be in our bullpen, but like he's down to 30 stamina. It dropped him from a 50 to a 30. His potential rating dropped to a 45. Like, he may just be a guy we move off of and trade if he regresses in the off season. So that is it for this episode. Obviously disappointed to lose in the ALDS, but overall a very, very, very strong season. 94 and 68 overall. I think regarding free agency and the off season, our lineup is effectively set. I think the only question is, does Matt Wallner stay in right field or do we move him to DH? And that has knock-on effects everywhere else. But the backups are definitely set with Erod in the outfield, Tyler Freeman, Trey Morgan in the infield. Miguel Amaya is going to get first crack at backup catcher next season. We'll see how he does. Pitching staff wise, we need a 5th starter, preferably a lefty. especially because Fromber may opt out of his deal after next season. Um, Joe Ryan pitched really, really well last season. Really happy with him. Taj Bradley, Zebby Matthews did well. Bullpen, we have a couple questions. Justin Tapa, Cole Sands, Cody Funderburk, Connor Prelip when he gets healthy. What are we going to do there? I think Mick Abel in relief is the correct decision. See how that plays going forward. But I thank you all for watching. I know it's been about a week since the last episode. Hopefully that won't happen too often going forward. So I will see you next time as we begin the offseason to prepare for year 3 of this Twins rebuild. See you then.